Your host Rizzle, Foxy Yoga on the intro, Bodyton Ballistic out here saving the metaverse, Dragonade in the box, doing things. Easy is checking in from somewhere. Cheddar queso, Hidden Forces is a robot. Find Juxton under Frankie's bar. Fabiano and Patrizia rat-tat-tats. Fractilians making lots of stuff. Trislet is a real dev, not a vibe coder. So get in line, it's Paradox. Let's end this intro so we can start the show. Whip.
Just gonna keep on cranking out corny intros until someone saves me from myself here, playing with these robots. Yeah, good audio. Y'all can hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, sick. We can kill an extra 30 seconds with the intros. Yeah, what's up? We got Jimmy in here. Cool. We're just gonna start this thing off. I'm your host Rizzle. We're gonna do a little housekeeping. I'm gonna tell you guys how to do all the stuff. And we're going to pass it over to TreeGens. Jimmy's in the house. Met him in East Denver, and a great dude with a project that I know Easy has known about and been on his radar longer than mine, and it should have been because it's a very long-standing project out here that has survived a lot of other projects that bit the dust over the past year or so. So shout out everyone in the audience who's been out here for a very long time. We are in Hyperfy right now. I'm going to drop the link if you want to hop in. Valiant took my janky trees and the banner that I couldn't get straight because we're in our new spot and I still don't know how to work the builder and made it look really nice. So come check out the forest. Come look at the screen. Fabiano is rugged on audio. Everyone else can hear me though, right? Let's hope so. Fabiano's giving out gifts but can't hear anything, so that sucks. But this stuff happens. Let's see. Excuse me. Speaking of that, if you want to get gifts from Fabiano and Patrizia every week, they're giving them out. They're going right into your ETH wallet. We have a new guest list process that it worked last week for the first time, thanks to Trislet. We unveiled it live and finished coding it in real time. Trislet is a real coder, not a vibe coder. And made it work. So if you sign in through the WIPmeetup.com, you register with Token Smart. You should only have to do it once, and then you just click through and check into the live event. You should be able to get all the stuff. And so we got a whole new system in place. It should be easier. Much easier than I'm explaining it. Anyway, you can also go to the WIPmeetup.com to catch up on all the events from the last 7,000 years that we've been out here. And yeah, that's pretty much all that. A couple more housekeeping things. We've got Nick in here from Substrata. So after we hear from Jimmy from TreeGens, we're gonna take a trip over to Substrata to experiment with their synchronized gestures. And I'm very happy that Paradox is back in the house because this is going to be a very stupid metaverse choreographed scene that will lend itself to pictures at the end. So make sure you hang in there till the end because we will be piling in world to do a group shot in Substrata. And let's see, shout out to the crew for holding it down. Foxy Yoga and the pre-whip Dragonade. There's a lot of help that goes in here. A lot of them got mentioned in the intro that AI sang for y'all, but you can never get them all. Last couple of things. I made a mini app. I don't know if it really works, but I pushed it out there about 3 hours ago, and it essentially tracks people's time watching WIP episodes and puts them on a leaderboard. And if it actually works, I would like to start rewarding people in WIP coin for doing that. The people on the leaderboard who consume the most content, even if it's your AI Claude bot, I don't give a fuck. It's hitting our YouTube channel and giving us clicks and stuff. So click on all our things. Help me beta test the mini app. Honestly, if you have any feedback on that, I would appreciate it because there's some things I need to clean up on it, but I think it actually works. Anyway, yes, you're getting some WIP coin in your wallet. I mentioned that. That's why you need to go to the WIPmeetup.com and sign in to the guest book, because on top of the Fabiano and Patrizia gifts, you're getting some WIP coin in your wallet just for attending this event. And that's not worth much of anything, but that's why y'all should invest all of your life savings in it and add to the liquidity pool. NFADYOR. Almost done. We're building this out in public. If you want to come hang out 10:30 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesdays in the voice channel, we're having our meetings and we're talking about these events, and that's pretty much that. So come hang out, and if you want to get in on the inner of the HyperFi migration channel or the crew channel and help us out on the back end of things, help is always appreciated. So go to WIPmeetup.com, sign up for our newsletter, click on all of our shit, help us beat the algorithm, and without further ado, one last call to action. Come hop in the metaverse, get lost in the forest for a few minutes. I'm going to pass the mic over to Jimmy, who, like I said, has been out here forever. Great dude, met him in East Denver, has a very ambitious project that has been going on in a lot of places for a long time. If you're not familiar with him, you should be. So, Jimmy, I'd love to pass the mic over to you, man. And if you could just give people an overview of what you're doing, man. And I see you grinding out there hard on Twitter Spaces. So, yeah, man, lay it on them and tell them how you've been standing out here for so long in crypto and Web3.
I love to. Rizzle, thank you so much for the invite, brother. Much love. I'm going to be popping over in the metaverse momentarily. I'd be happy to share that. You know, TreeGens started, not in its current form, but we did start TreeGens about 4 years ago, and our logo is currently tattooed permanently on skin, and 6 of us have pledged to do so. When I say this is my life work, I really mean it, and we're really growing something, and I really believe it's going to change the world and make such a big difference. You know, there's a guy called Nietzsche who said, with a strong enough why, you can endure anyhow. And that's what's kept me going. That's what's allowed us to not give up when the inevitable challenges came our way. You know, things are hard out there, you know, especially bear markets. There's inevitable challenges. You want to do anything significant in life, you have to find something that really sets your soul on fire and you can get really passionate about. So my why goes back to 2019. Actually, even before that, you know, I planted my first tree when I was 4 years old. My mother's an environmental activist. They were legally cutting down eucalyptus gum trees in my hometown of Avalon in Australia. And so she was campaigning. She walked for hundreds and hundreds of kilometers. I was around that passion from a young age and planted my first tree when I was 4. But it was in 2019, you guys might have seen on the news, one of the worst forest fires in history just engulfed Australia. There were 3 billion animals burnt alive. 3 billion animals. And, you know, when people see messed up things, they sometimes look away. But I just forced myself to watch video after video after video of these animals suffocating on the smoke, getting burnt alive. It was truly heartbreaking. I felt horrible in that moment. And then I did something about it. This was back in the Facebook fundraiser days. I launched a little fundraiser, you know, to try to help out some nonprofits on the ground. And I went live, and as the donations started coming in, I felt this rush of energy just coursing through my veins. This passion, knowing that what we were doing was actually making some difference in the world. That we're not just hopeless like I was feeling before that, but we can actually do something about it. And so I've just been leaning into those feelings ever since. That's what's fueled me to do crazy things. I once went live for 60 straight hours, 60, so for 45 minutes from Friday morning to Sunday night. And we've done 7 24/7 live streams that were live for 24/7 for 2-week sprints on 7 different occasions. That was a team effort, of course. But we did 7 of those. I personally planted trees for 24 straight hours on 3 different occasions until it finally became an official Guinness World Record. So I've planted more trees in 24 hours than any other human in history. And, you know, it's not just about the animals. You know, 8.1 million people die every single year because of the air that they breathe. Like, that is a messed up. That's like Holocaust level shit right there because of the air that we breathe. And when I learned about that, I became frankly pissed off about it, and I wanted to do something at a much bigger scale. So TreeGens is ultimately creating a world where anyone can plant trees and earn a living. Our foundational token called TGN, which is our governance token, is to vote, verify, and grow. we've outperformed Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana for many, many months. For the most part, pretty much since we launched it on August 22nd. That's the base price we've outperformed. If you go to Hydrax, HYDRAX.fi, there's a 120% APY. It's more than double the match there. But let me break down what this does. So first of all, it's to vote, it's governance and things like this. We're going to become a big carbon project developer as well. This is a 900 billion a year market. Verify, we're launching something within the next 1.5 to 2 weeks called the Proof of Tree Protocol on iOS and Android. The way that this works is anyone can plant trees. They film before they plant them within the app. So you can't just upload something you found online. You film within the app. It automatically gets your GPS. Then you plant. Then you film after you plant the trees. And this could be anything in your backyard. It could be mangrove trees. After you've done that, we have an AI that counts exactly how many trees are planted. Our DAO members, then if you've staked TGN, you just tick a few boxes, make sure that the planters were planting them correctly, and then 95% of the tree token rewards go directly to the planters and 5% go to the verifiers. So when you're staking TGN, you actually have 3 different token rewards. You have more TGN when you're staking, you get HYDX on this Hydrax DEX on base, and then the third one is MGROW, so we're tokenizing mangrove trees specifically. If you're planting other trees, you get video NFTs, which are purchasable with TGN. It's the currency of the tree economy. And yeah, so that's the core thing that we built. We have so many other things we've launched, like .tgn NFT wallet addresses, which are short wallet address names. A lot of people are repping those. We're about to onboard 100 ambassadors to really help grow this movement. So what fueled me to break this Guinness World Record, it was never about me and about what I can do. It's about what does it lead to, right? So I was really inspired by Ethiopia that, has been doing these big tree planting days, and they've been growing it and growing it. Originally, it was 350 million. Well, because of my Guinness World Record, see, they weren't able to make their big tree planting day an official Guinness World Record, but I had one already. And so we were able to partner with the Ethiopian government to help them make it a record, to make it bigger. We did the first ever Grow Olympic Games in Ethiopia, which was July 31st of last year. We managed to unite 29 million people across the country and get 714 million trees planted in just one day. 714 million trees. So that's the current unofficial record. We're making it a Guinness record. And what I then did is I went to COP30. This is the biggest environmental conference. It's by United Nations. I went there with a press badge. So I got to interview a lot of ministers of environment. And I asked them questions like, hey, what's really motivating you? Like, what's your why? What's the legacy you want to leave behind? And then, when they're all inspired and excited, I then shared this case study of what we already did in Ethiopia. And they're like, that's incredible. And I was like, yeah, well, can we do this in your country? I kind of like put them on the spot while they're on camera, while I'm interviewing them. And I got 11 different countries, mostly ministers of environment, to shake my hand and commit to doing a countrywide tree planting day. A lot of them want to one-up Ethiopia. So now, on July 26th, which is International Mangrove Day, we're going to make history by getting more than 1 billion trees planted in a single day. This has never happened before, but when it happens, the world will never be the same. Because what we're going to do is there will be many other billion tree days after this. There's something called the 4-minute mile. So there's a guy so all up until 1954, it was common knowledge that humans cannot run for a full mile in under 4 minutes. That's what everyone believed. But then this one guy called Roger Bannister, he didn't give up. He kept pushing, and he finally broke the 4-minute barrier. And the same year that he ran the 4-minute mile, dozens of other people did it. Dozens. Now tens of thousands of people have, even high school kids. So what changed? People saw what is possible, right? And right now, when people hear 1 billion trees, a lot of people think it's not possible, right? But we've already done 714 million. Now we got 12 countries. We will make it happen. And when it happens, people are going to see what's possible, and it's going to keep on happening. Because again, carbon markets is $900+ billion per year right now, and it's forecast to get to 1.6 trillion by 2028. There's a couple of years from now. It's currently more revenue than AI, and it's growing. But how much of that actually makes it to the people on the ground? Crumbs. And what we're doing is with decentralized tree planting rewards, we're able to do buybacks on our tree tokens, on our governance token from an exponentially growing carbon credit project. So we're about to launch in Brazil, in Amapá, Brazil, is our first carbon forward flywheel. And see, if you plant a tree today, it takes 25 years, if it's a mangrove, to sequester 308 kilograms of carbon. That's 0.308 carbon credits. 25 years is a long ass time. We don't really have that kind of time. So what we can do is we can forecast, after we plant the trees, we do what's called a pre-feasibility study. We can forecast how much carbon will actually be sequestered by these trees. And then we can guarantee it using carbon insurance for the buyers. These are governments and companies. Either they need it legally or they voluntarily do it, like Google's been carbon negative since 2007, I believe. And even though we're selling it to them at a discount, it's still about 9 times more money than what it costs to plant the trees in the first place. So this means we can multiply the trees roughly 9 times. So if we plant 1 million mangroves in Amapá, Brazil in the next month or two, and then we sell that as a carbon forward a few months after that, now we have enough money to plant 9 million trees. And then we can do the same thing on the 9 million. We forecast it, we insure it, we sell it as a carbon forward, and now we have enough money to plant 81 million trees. And we keep repeating this process just 6 times. You end up with 531 billion trees. That's roughly 1/4 of the 2 trillion that have been wiped off the face of the earth. That is how TreeGens is going to become the biggest carbon project developer that exists. And we're going to do it as a DAO. And we're going to do buybacks on these tokens. And that's how we're going to become one of the biggest tokens. And we're going to show the best, most positively impactful use cases of Web3. So guys, if I was just doing this for a paycheck, I would have given up a long time ago. Probably the first time I failed the Guinness World Record, maybe the second time. Maybe when a hack happened or I got fished or when, I would have thrown in the towel because this is tough. It's difficult. But I know it is possible. I know we're going to make 1 billion trees happen this year in a single day. I know that's going to lead to many other billion trees. I know we're going to scale this thing and we're going to put a massive dent in that 8.1 million human beings who die because of the air that they breathe every single year. We're going to make it happen. And by the way, the world's about to find out about this because I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Live Aid. If not, you should totally go to YouTube. There's an amazing documentary for free on YouTube about it. It's the biggest broadcast in history. In the 80s, they did a massive charity concert where it was everywhere. 1.9 billion people tuned into it. Almost 2 billion people. The same guy from Live Aid is now doing Live Earth with us, with Hubcast Media, our partners. And TreeGens is going to be front and center. Of course, the times have changed a lot since the 80s. They didn't have so many channels back then. Now there's so many options. But we have a network of channel partners. We're going to go live on hundreds and hundreds of social media channels at the same time. The combined reach of all of our network partners was 400 million. We just brought on another 800 million. This could be another Live Aid level event. Live Earth. It's definitely going to be the biggest Earth Day event. We have officially gotten earthday.org involved, and massive celebrities are coming in, musicians performing. Shout out to Easy and Crypto doing impact concerts every month. It's going to be the biggest impact concert on the big Earth Day. And we're going to have a massive reach on this. The last event that Hubcast Media got 5 million unique viewers. That was way before they got, Richard Lukens involved from Live Aid and all these other channel partners on Earth Day, etc., actually participating in it. So this is going to be absolutely massive. TreeGens has already been featured in BBC, in CNBC. We're written in the Guinness World Records, but we're just getting warmed up. When we get 1 billion trees planted, when we get this carbon forward flywheel growing, when Proof of Tree is scaling regeneration through the most direct way to fund tree planters, and everyone knows about it, we're going to be on a whole other level. So, not financial advice. This is impact advice. If you want to be a part of this, if you want to be a part of this movement, I recommend, try to tune into our spaces. Get yourself some TGN if you haven't yet. Again, there's a 120% APY currently on Hydrex, HYDREX.fi. So you can get it on Hydrex if you're already on Base. If not, if you go to relay.link, relay.link, literally any token on literally any chain in one transaction, you can very easily get TGN. It ends in 29, the contract address. Make sure you're getting the right ones. A couple copycats out there. You could also find it on Uniswap. You could find it on OpenSea. You could find it on Coinbase. Since we're on Base Network, you could literally get it on Coinbase. All the information is correct on there. Make sure you check your deck screen to get the right info. But yeah, that's what we got cooking. That is why we've been so determined to make this happen, because we're literally going to change the world. A lot of people say that, but we're literally going to change the world. It won't be the same when we get 1 billion trees done. It won't be the same when this proof of tree protocol is really fully unleashed so that anyone can plant trees and get rewarded. And ultimately, the ultimate vision is where anyone can plant trees and earn a living. That is the world I want to live in, because that's the world where humans thrive with technology and nature. And if you want to live in that world too, then join our DAO and let's freaking grow.
Let's grow. Easy popping in out of protocol, but Jimmy's the real deal. He never quits. We've been growing this movement like crazy. It's been a lot of fun. So many great partner projects. Jimmy, maybe do you want to mention the Azos partnership? And then also I was thinking people might have fun with learning about how they can come to the spaces and earn TGN or a .TGN wallet address, with a vocabulary, all the good stuff.
Yeah, thank you, brother. So yeah, we have tons and tons of partnerships. I call them grow-laborations. They do I could list a massive list of such partnerships. One of them is Azos.finance. So if you go to Azos.finance, this is one of the many reasons why we've outperformed the blue chips, is because people are so bullish on this and diamond handed, but life happens. Sometimes you need money for something. If you don't want to sell your TGN, you can borrow against it like an Aave and get stable coins. AZUSD is an over-collateralized stablecoin. This is the only example where you can borrow against a token and have zero chance of liquidation. Getting liquidated sucks, right? No one wants to get liquidated. You're being forced to sell. Usually it's at the bottom, and it sucks. But with this, because we've been going for 4+ years, because all of our code is open source and we're actually solving a massive problem, because we partnered with 12 countries, because we have a Guinness World Record, because all these different reasons, they made the massive exception to just count TGN as 0.1, which is a bit less than the current price. It's around like 0.26, but 0.126. But so you can't quite borrow as much, but what you can, but there's no chance of liquidation, whatever happens to the price. And so that's an amazing opportunity there. And what you could do is you could you could pair AZUSD with TGN and you could earn like 130% APY. So there's a little bit of you're only paying 5% when you borrow against it, but you're getting an additional 15% if you're pairing AZUSD with TGN. So there's some benefits there. But yeah, so that's one of the many cool partnerships. They have a spaces coming up in 45 minutes or so, 47 minutes. And yeah, many such collaborations. The only way to get a .TGN NFT wallet, by the way, we're not selling them right now. You win it by growing the movement. So if you go to TreeGens, by the way, on X, we plant and dedicate a tree to every single follower, every single one of them. So the handle on X is the TreeGens. It's TheTreeGens, the TreeGens. If you follow us, you're going to see your tree, a mangrove tree, which sequesters up to 10 times the carbon. That's number one. And if you lock in with us, I recommend ringing the bell, noties, because we're live pretty much every day. And every day we're giving out 3 .TGN NFT wallets. So we have many different competitions happening. So when you're growing the movement, you're getting these wallets. And by the way, unlike .eth, you're not renting it where you have to keep paying every year. Like this, you own it forever. And you're actually guaranteed multiple airdrops into this short wallet address name. So you if you're upholding our values on a timeline, if you're repping it in your display name, you keep getting TGN. And 1 million Ensure tokens are also getting sent out to these wallets. I don't think they have yet. That's going to happen pretty soon. So yeah, lock in with the TreeGens, TheTreeGens, and you can see all our official links in our link tree over there as well.
Dude, Jimmy, man, I got a couple questions for you. Really appreciate your energy, man, and your vision and what you've been building out here for such a long time. Quick aside, we started our new guest book process last week. It sort of worked. We recorded everybody properly through the website, so but we didn't send stuff out yet from last week. So if you didn't get your gift from last week, don't worry about that. It's coming. In the meantime, we broke it, so I'm posting an old guest book here from a few weeks ago on a Google Doc. So you're gonna have to do the jank workaround in order to get the free stuff this time around, but that'll make sure everything's recorded. So I'm dropping it in the general channel here, the Discord, and it says March 5th. Just disregard that. I signed it already. It'll work. So yeah, sign it on the Google Doc. Yo, Jimmy, again, appreciate what you're doing. It's an extremely sophisticated project. Once you get outside the face value of your planted trees and everything. Dude, talk to me about handling a DAO and making it not turn into a horrible pit of despair in 2026, and how you balance that with trying to make sure it stays in line with the vision that you started out with.
That's an excellent question. You know, we do have token allocations, and you can see our tokenomics if you're curious about that. But we were very thoughtful about our allocations. So it's over 6 years with a 1-year ramp. Different to a cliff, where a cliff would happen like after the year, everything you would have gotten, all of a sudden there's a big supply shock, and all of a sudden everyone gets their tokens. That usually leads to sell pressure. So there's no tokens being released to team, etc. until August 22nd. But what we can do is we can delegate. So as far as the DAO, like with important decisions, like we're about to do a vote on going multi-chain. And that's a pretty big decision. And we've only paired with stable coins. We haven't paired with volatile assets. That's another reason why we've outperformed the blue chips pretty consistently during this bear market. But yeah, so we can delegate. So like, for example, if someone has a lot of experience with, going multi-chain, liquidity pools, with, balancing the tokenomics, buy pressure and sell pressure, etc., we can delegate to those people, and that can also, benefit that as well. We're for now, it is one token, one vote, but we're exploring like what Optimism did quite well. They have like Token House and Citizen House, where for some decisions it's one person, one vote, and for some decisions it's one token, one vote. Usually it's decisions that influence the token, it's one token, one vote, and then others is one person, one vote. I'm also part of Let's Grow DAO, which is all about growing the movement. That's the DAO where we did the 24/7 broadcast for 2 weeks straight on 7 different occasions. And that was one person, one vote. And I think that works pretty well as well. So we're going to be moving towards one person, one vote as well, as we grow, so that those decisions don't get, heavily weighted just by like some whales or some people who don't necessarily have the best expertise. I think for certain kinds of decisions, being really thoughtful about the delegation process with people who have expertise on that vote is a way to also improve that governance structure. And yeah, we're also getting set up as a nonprofit. We have an LLC so that we can do the carbon credit thing. But a lot of what we do is about positive impact, and so that people can get tax receipts, for example, if they want to support trees in America. And so we're setting up within the next few days nonprofits in the States, so we can do that. And also we're setting up chapters. So there's going to be local chapters. The first one's going to be in Florida, and they're going to be in a bunch of different chapters around the world for TreeGens for their own governance, because you shouldn't have one international group necessarily like making decisions about without the local context. So having that bottoms up local context as well, and having some autonomy to make certain decisions that affect local things where you have all of that context is another important thing as well. So there's different layers to governance. And, right now we've pretty much been voting on like TreeGen of the week, we have these animated NFTs and stuff like that. But as their treasury really grows, as this carbon forward flywheel is kicking off likely towards the end of next month, we've already got the funds in escrow. But yeah, that's another thing. So yeah, it's important to have multi-layers. Sometimes it's one token, one vote. Sometimes it's one person, one vote. And then also having the local governance as well for chapters, I think is going to be pretty key.
Yo, awesome. I appreciate the response. It's not something that is easy to pull off. Obviously, you've been out here and you know what you're doing, and have a sophisticated project well before putting that in place, and have done the DAO thing before. If anyone else has a question for Jimmy, feel free to drop them in the general channel. I got one more question, and then we're going to switch gears. We're going to hop into Substrata. Word is Nick from Substrata also likes trees, and hear about their latest updates. Jimmy, man, is it just trees? Depending on the landscape, have you ever considered foraying into bushes? Or I assume you're optimizing. I'm sort of joking, man, but I assume you're optimizing in some way for the environments that you're planting in, and you're not just planting random trees in random places. How does all that work?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. One other thing we've been looking at beyond trees in the traditional sense is hemp. So hemp can sequester up to 4 times the carbon compared with the average tree, and it's also very efficient. You can, put it into so many other use cases for that. So that could be a partnership that we're exploring, at the moment. But yeah, when it comes to where to plant what, and you got to make sure you're planting native tree species, for example. And what we do is we work a lot with community-based organizations, CBOs, and the stewards of the land. That's another key piece. What we're also putting together is a map where we're going to map out all the different opportunities to plant. And sometimes it's nonprofits, sometimes it's CBOs, sometimes it's private landowners. And like, all right, you can plant here. These are the trees that we recommend. And fortunately, there are some cool tools out there like Treecopedia, where you can learn like how to plant all these different types of trees, because there's different methodologies for them. But we're a bit more laser focused on mangroves. I'm a little bit of a mangrove maxis. They do grow in Florida. They're all by the coast and by the equator. There are like 81 different countries where the mangroves grow. The reason I'm so bullish on them is, they can sequester 10 times the carbon. They also help with biodiversity, so a lot of animals thrive around them. They even protect the shorelines from erosion, which helps the coral reefs. They're super efficient to plant. You can take a propagule off a tree. It kind of looks like a stick. You put it in the ground, and it germinates in the ground. So you don't need this whole multi-month nursery process, which is, pretty time-consuming. You have to water them. You have to put them in a plastic container, which is not good. It's like a plastic bag almost. You have to load up a truck, and then there's emissions from that. You got to take them to the site. You got to unload the truck. You got to dig the holes. You got to take the plastic off, hope the plastic doesn't fly away. The traditional nursery process is bypassed with mangrove trees. A lot of these mangrove species, they have propagules where you put it direct in the ground. So efficient, so scalable, and so impactful. And that's why we're tokenizing mangroves specifically. And as well as, that's what our AI is trained for right now. But we will be branching that out, tokenizing many different trees in the future. And our DAO members get to benefit from all of that, because 5% of all the tree tokens that come on chain go to the verifiers. And so if you're active in our DAO, you get to benefit from all these ecological credits. And we plan on bringing 1 billion trees on chain this year. So that's a lot if you think about it. We've been planting mangroves for like 10 cents each. And so if that price holds up, billion trees, 5% going to verifiers, that's $5 million going to our DAO members who are ticking some boxes while they're drinking their morning coffee to make sure they were planted correctly. So it's a lot. There's a lot of RWAs coming on chain. And I see Penguin in the audience. Shout out to Azos. They're a big supporter of ours. Much love to the Azos fam. We were just talking about you earlier.
Also,
Go ahead, Easy.
Just real quick, there's a great collaboration with plastics and the plastics project. So, working in some plastic cleanups, on those beaches that need the mangroves planted. And, going to be some of the, I believe, proof of tree technology going in for proof of plastics as well.
That's right. Yeah, everything we build is open source, and it's specifically for use cases like this. So we want proof of plastic to be a thing where people are going to be doing these cleanups. See, because this also directly affects the survival rate of trees. When they're surrounded and strangled by this toxic waste that is plastic pollution, they don't make it nearly as much as if it's pristine beachfront where these mangroves are getting planted. And so we just brought on the guy who CTO'd plastic He's a brilliant man called Yeremiel. He's our new COO, Chief Operations Officer at TreeGens. He's the one who's setting up the nonprofit and the chapters, and yeah, so he's using our open source technology with Proof of Tree to do proof of plastic. And this is also really important, not just for the impact, but like we came up through the Gitcoin grant system in a big way. You guys are probably familiar with Gitcoin grants. They turned $70 million into $20 billion in market cap, which is better than VCs get. And this is a grant program. They're the longest standing grant program. The reason they've been so effective is because it's wisdom of the crowd, right? So everyone gets to vote how the funds are allocated by donating at least $1. And they heavily weigh the number of people who donate than the amounts that they donate. So like 1,000 people giving $1 gets way more matching than one person giving 1,000. And so Uniswap came up through Gitcoin. Optimism came up through Gitcoin. These are household names, right? TreeGens was voted first place, not once or twice, but 3 times on Gitcoin grants. So that's really taken us to where we are in such a big way. And we're super grateful for that. And so that's why all our tech is open source. And I'm really glad that folks like Plastic are, yo, someone made a TreeGens avatar. Let's grow. Let's grow. I love it. I love it. By the way, guys, if you want to be an ambassador of TreeGens, you get our most limited edition NFT. Only 100 of those will exist. You got to be quick because 300 people have applied, 120 people took the quiz. But every Tuesday, we do a tree initiation ceremony on Spaces. So if you go to our X, again, it's the TreeGens, TheTreeGens, click on articles, and you'll see how to join the most impactful and rewarding ambassador program. I'm so confident that this is the most impactful and rewarding ambassador program. We have a bounty. Anyone can find something more impactful or rewarding. You get 100 TGN, no questions asked. And yeah, so you get an amazing personalized NFT. So for example, Groze, he's getting one with a guitar in it. Easy's getting one with a cowboy hat. You know, I'm making these specifically to the person because you're an ambassador. So if anyone wants to be an ambassador, you just read the article, take the quiz at the end, come to our Spaces, and we'll ask you a couple questions. We have a human lie detector to make sure you're aligned, and then you get tree initiated on Tuesday. But yeah, back to you. Let's go.
Yo, once again, man, really appreciate everything that you've been doing out here. If anyone has any questions for Jimmy or any curiosity about any of the links, Easy's been dropping them here in the general channel Discord, so make sure to check out everything that we've been talking about. And dude, it's just incredible what you've been building. Appreciate it very much. We'll definitely hopefully have you back on here after you've planted like a trillion more trees and everything, and give us an update. Dude, please stick around for the group shot at the end here. We got Nick in the house, who is also a legend, builder of Substrata, and had Ballistic Banana actually put it on my radar that he introduced a couple of ridiculous updates that I was like, yes, we need to get in here and play around with these things. So I'm going to drop the link to Substrata. Wait, that's not the link to Substrata. I will drop the link to Substrata in 1 second, substrata.info. I'm not sure if that's the best way to pile in, but I'll let Nick tell you about what is if it's not. And so feel free to hop out of HyperFi and into Substrata right now. And I'm going to pass the mic over to Nick, and he can tell you what's been cooking.
Real quick, while we're getting the mic pass, we do have the monthly Earth Day TreeGen Impact Concert this Sunday. Every month, we celebrate monthly Earth Day with the TreeGens and an Impact Concert. So hope to see you there. All the links have been dropped in this chat.
Jesus. Easy, you're banned for violating protocol twice in one WIP. You only get one protocol violation. No, I'm just playing. Piers is saying make sure you get the latest Substrata. I'm gonna hop in a second. Yeah, take a minute to hop on in, load up if you have the client, update your client, and I'll see you in there for a second, and let Nick speak. Nick, let's try this again, man. Tell him what's up.
Thanks for having me. So we've got a new synchronized feature in Substrata, which is going to be fun. older UI of Night. It's pretty easy to use.
Your mic's cutting out a little bit, Nick. I'm not sure if you want to take a second to check the connection or something.
I'm just speaking on my phone, so.
Oh, now it's working. If
Yeah,
you're using
I'll just talk louder, maybe.
yeah, that's good, man. Now you're good.
Okay. Yeah, so let me just give a little intro to Substrata for those who don't know it. So it's a Metaverse project. Been going for a while now, probably like, I don't know, 5 years at least. And it's open source. And yeah, you can buy land on it if you want. So since the last WIP Meetup, and here we've created actually, no, last WIP was a kind of announcement for the river district created in Substrata. And that's just finished selling a few days ago. So yeah, that's kind of exciting. So 76 land parcels we made in this river mouth district sold. And we've had a parties there, which is fun. And yeah, last WIP was the riding jet skis around and stuff like that, which I think everyone found kind of hard because like the physics tricky, but I've improved the jet ski physics if anyone wants to try that. But yeah, so something I was working on was improving the animation support in Substrata and just like compressing the files and stuff, and then figured out that to make the animations quite small. And because of that, I was like, well, let's make it so you can load in new animations. And so for those who don't know, there's this website called Mixamo, which has a bunch of free animations on it. That's owned by Adobe. And that's kind of where you get like all the animations and all the Metaverse projects are from Mixamo, basically. You might recognize them, but they have like several thousand free animations. So basically you can just go to like Mixamo, download an animation, and you got to convert it through Blender, which is annoying, but then you can just edit in Substrata, so there's like no limit. Yeah, so we had this Valentine's Day party in Substrata, and we were kind of like manually trying to synchronize the animations, which is kind of hard. So we were like had the thriller dance, and then trying to get like 5 people to start the animation at exactly the same time, which is quite tricky with network latency, basically. So then I added some code to do synchronized dancing. So if like someone else is performing the gesture, like doing a dance, just mouse over them and you press E and it just joins in the dance, and it's like hopefully perfectly synchronized. Cool. So yeah, we're gonna do some synchronized dancing in Substrata. So there's a couple ways to get into Substrata. You can download the native client and just go to substrata.info, and then there's builds. Oh my god, someone is it Cram? There's builds for those Linux, and but you can also jump in via the web. So if you go to substrata.info, link right at the top, which is enter Substrata in your browser. So that should work too. Native app is FPS, but you can jump in anyway. And yeah, you can set a custom avatar. You just gotta create a Substrata account, which is free. You can use DRM. Oh yeah, and so the other thing is that So the gestures just basically files you can download. So if you go to the, I'll drop a link to the Substrata Discord, and I've got a channel on there that has of animations. You can, but it's not required. It's not required because you can join in any gesture, like automatically download the animation. You don't have to manually do it. So you just walk up to an avatar that's performing a dance, and you just mouse over them and just hit E. We'll join in. I've only tested this with like 2, maybe 3 people, so this is very much like cutting edge testing.
Yo, Nick, I can't tell if I'm doing something right or wrong. So, like, Easy's dancing right now using crypto. If I should be able to go up to him and I hit B, and then I'm gonna
E.
Oh, E. Okay.
So mouse over the who's forming a gesture. Yeah, if you have an old Substrata version, make sure you get the latest Substrata. Is it code, I don't know, a month ago or something. The web is always up to date. So you should, hopefully you should see a bunch of people dancing.
Paradox, do me a favor, man. If you can screen share, I'm gonna try and jump out and get a later version.
That should be live, I think. Is it working? Yeah. How do you go full screen? Is there a way to do that?
F11.
F11.
So,
I can't seem to do it. It's not working, F11.
Alt Enter and Substrata goes full screen, I think.
No, it could be something I'm doing. Oh well, doesn't matter. Cool. Can you see that result? There we go. Beautiful. So I can do it. I can just hover over it. I'm on browser. I'm not even on the client. So let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. Nice.
Yo, I hopped in on the browser because I didn't want to update my client on the fly, and it works like pretty seamlessly. So I'm naked, anonymous dancing, but I'm choreographed. Yo, shout out Xerox Quan, who I neglected to mention earlier, made a whole ass TreeGens avatar that is now dancing in Substrata, like on the fly, I believe, during this event. So appreciate that. Love the building in real time. Yo, Nick, if anyone has a question for Nick, feel free to drop them in the general channel. Nick, my question, and you may have already answered it, but I'm sort of just want to understand again, the problem that you're solving here was that you wanted everyone to be able to do the Thriller dance in a synchronized way and couldn't get it right. So you basically made something to solve this very serious metaverse problem, which is that we all need to do choreographed dances.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, dude, I love that, man. I appreciate building for the sake of pure enjoyment and entertaining. And this is a mess in here right now. It's absolutely hilarious, and we got a couple of TreeGens avatars in here goofing around. Nick, man, what's next, dude? I love that you're continuously tinkering around. The Rivermouth edition was great. We had a good time in there. The jet skis are super fun. Are you just sort of going with what inspires you at the moment? Are you cooking on anything currently?
Yeah, I mean, generally, I just work on whatever. Yeah, seems like a good idea at the time. You know, what comes up. Yeah, it was just like doing that party, and it was just like, this is really hard to do synchronized dances. So it's like, I'm gonna add this feature. You know, I don't play Fortnite personally, but I'm kind of aware of it, and I know they have synchronized dances in there, so I stole the user interface from that. So, you know, obviously they're pretty good at making software easy to use. Millions of 10-year-olds, so if they can handle the user interface, then pretty good. Yeah, so what's coming up next? The big thing that I'm going to work on, I think, in Substrata next is making wearables and making a marketplace for wearables. Yeah, which will hopefully create a kind of economy in Strata. So you know, right now I'm selling land. So you know, I'm making some money sometimes, putting that out to other people so that they can make some money. So you know, anyone will be able to create a I don't know, a hat or trading vehicles in the middle of the dance floor. Yeah, be able to create a hat or glow sticks or general other party equipment, and then be able to sell it in a store, I guess. I think I'll just make them like Ethereum NFTs. So a little bit old school. But Ethereum gas prices are cheap right now. And actually just put stuff on main Ethereum chain, I think. It's kind of easy. So that's the next big thing for Substrata, I think. Yeah. I'm going to start doing thriller dance, a little breakdancing. Let's get a thriller dance going in. Part one. So for the thriller dance, the trick is you want to join in the dance, but you want to be facing in the same direction when you start it. If you see my see my avatar, I'm doing a thriller dance. There's actually 4 parts to this dance. Oh yeah. Threading is viral. Everyone's turning into zombies. So you see how everyone's walking in different directions? Start and dance, so you want to face towards the WIP sign and then mouse over me and press E to we need to move these vehicles as well. Whoever parked their hover car in the dance floor. Wait, yeah, cheers.
Grizzle, should we start herding cats and get people for this photo time and attempt to do this dance all together?
Yes, dude, let's do it. We want to roll the Paradox theme music. I think we got the basic instructions down. I'm trying to move my naked body over there. without it slowing down my computer, because I don't want to download the new thing while I'm trying to talk to y'all. So, let's roll the theme song and see if we can get some ridiculous shots here.
Because I'm itching to get
Just
done.
a humble cameraman looking for a tiny bit of attention. It's me, Paradox. Get your asses in line and smile for the fucking camera. No one cares about Matthew and Rizzle, that's for sure. It's about me, Paradox. I'm taking over the show.
Alrighty, let's try this thing. So, right, let's herd some cats. Right, everyone head over to the WIP sign, please. Follow the blue mech, please. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to line up, and Nick can tell me if I'm doing this right, on the first kind of gold bar facing outwards. So, let's have a look. Face the same way that the statue's facing. Right, I'm going to move, just see if we can get everyone along there. So you've got to face the same way the statue's facing. Try and line up in the same line. Okay, we're getting there. Come on, easy. Trislet, join the line. Let's go. It's not bad. Try and spread out just a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. Cool. What do you reckon? I think that's about as good as we're going to get. So where is Nick? Nick, what's your character called? Yeah, you're right there. Okay, cool. So the guy, is Nick the guy jumping? Oh no. Send
Yeah.
Cool, right. So am I right in thinking, Nick, everyone needs to basically look at your character, hover over it, and you should see an E.
Yeah. Once I start doing this, so I'm going to start.
And then everyone has to do it at the same time. So are we going to try and... Oh, does
you
it
don't
do
have to start
automatically?
at the same time. Yeah, that's the whole point.
I missed that. Cool.
Jumps into the dance at the point where I am.
So cool. I missed that completely.
Yeah, no, that's
Cool.
the whole point. That's why I made this basically.
Cool. Right, I'm gonna.
I mean, the other point is that it downloads the animation automatically. So
It's so sick.
fancy, actually.
So are you gonna add more animations later for like events and stuff? That'd be dope.
Well, I mean, you can, as I was saying, there's like thousands of animations you can add in one. So far, I've got which is like full part. Is the twist dance, which I think is from Pulp Fiction. That famous scene where Dylan and John Travolta are like twist diner. Some like breakdancing. But you can put any animation in there as long as you can get it in Blender and export it.
Does it matter about like file size and stuff?
Well,
Because it's just
not
animation
really.
data, it's quite small, isn't it? I imagine.
Well, yeah. I added compression of it. So compressor's quite small. So these dances are like about 4 megabytes.
So small.
No, actually, that's not true. They're even smaller than that. 4 megabytes without the compression. 1 megabyte with the compression. They're basically so small that I added it really. I did this compression and I was like, files are really small, we can just get them easy.
Cool. I think I've grabbed enough snaps, so I'll catch you guys next time. I'm gonna throw back to Rizzle and do a little bit more dancing. Parrots out.
The other thing I should have done is doing a video playing Thriller. Kind of fun with the music.
Yo, this is so funny. I actually just got in here, downloading the client, and I popped in right in front of everyone doing the Thriller dance, and it's one of the more ridiculous things that I've seen in a long time. Actually, if everyone could just like stay there and do exactly what you're doing, just don't go anywhere. I'm gonna take a quick like screen grab so I can record just a couple seconds for this here because.
And if you can, just start playing the Thriller video on YouTube or something. It's kind of funny with the music. And whoever motion capped this real good job, actually perfectly synchronized with the video. real video.
That's fantastic. Yo, appreciate everyone coming out. The place looks like a proper mess. There's a boat over here. There were cars crashing into it earlier, and everyone's synchronized doing the Thriller dance in front of the WIP sign. Yo, appreciate everyone coming out today. I'm gonna give you the janky guest book workaround in a couple seconds here, but I got too many windows all over the place. Give me one sec. This is what happens when you try to build in real time, and then you think you got everything working one week, and then nothing works the second week. But hey, we figured it out. Okay, yo, I got the guest book. Where are y'all? You're in Discord. Let me drop that here. Hey, thanks everyone for coming out. We got Giselle X coming up next week, and if y'all aren't familiar with her, you should be. Most of y'all probably are. She has been cranking on a really incredible project for several weeks now, and picked this date specifically so she can be ready to show it to y'all. So I dropped the link for the guest book in the general channel. Just disregard the incorrect date on it. This is our jank workaround for this week. You'll be getting the free gifts from Fabiano and Patrizia, as well as WIP coin from last week and this week. We're good for it. Our shit is just, vibe coded, and, we're still working it out. But we're not going anywhere. So come back next week. Shout out Jimmy. Shout out Nick for coming through. Appreciate everybody, and I'll see you next week.
1, 2, 3, 4. Sunshine, mashed potatoes. I want chicken, cheese. Fuck yes. Oh, cheese. Oh, cheese. Oh, cheese. Oh. This is awesome. Awesome. Oh. Sweet dreams are made of cheese. Pizza's good too. I like where this is going. Yeah. Fuck yes, cheese. Kill the audio box with fire. Death to audio problems. Lactose intolerant people, I am so sorry. Give me that shit. Give me that shit. I got carried away. We all love a good meme explorer song. Cheddar. Blue cheese, better way says cheese emoji. Randolph has cheese, meme explorers with extra cheese. Death to audio problems. Death to audio problems. Cheddar is better, won't go out for days. Cheese is life. Fuck yes, oh, to audio problems, down to audio problems, down to audio, a gift of cheddar cheese. Audio problems don't deserve to live. To emoji with the tongue sticking out. Emmentaler and Gruyere. That almost rhymes. Cheddar is money given now. Spend some of your cheddar on that, please. Rizzle says death to audio problems. Rizzle says death to audio. Oh, Rizzle says death to audio problems. Rizzle says death to audio. Oh, oh, oh. Ah, oh, 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 oh. Hell no. Lots of gifts of cheesy things, all up in the Discord of meme explorers. Oh, lots of gifts of cheesy things. Captain heart eyes, clap, clap, clap. Cheese steak, cookies, hi, cheese is the best. Gifts of cats with cheese on their faces, death, death, death. The only thing we love more than cheese is gifts. The only thing is fondue. Rizzle says death to audio problems. Rizzle says death. Audio cheese is live. Audio problems. Cheese is live. Oh, yeah. Yay. The little kitten says LOL, and Elmo's on fire, and Ernie's got condoms on his ears, so fire, so fire. To audio, to audio, death to audio, LMAO, give me cheese, oh give me death to audio, death to audio. Vibe check, vibe check. Death to high ping. I want some lemonade. Make cheese great again. Condoms on the ears. That's what it looked like to me. Oh, death to audio problems, to audio, death to audio problems, to audio. I'm vibing, make cheese lemonade. When life gives you rotten cheese, you make cheese lemonade. So much cheese and some sriracha, some cheese and some sriracha. Me vibing big time when Rizzle coins. You make nachos, you make nachos. Love the song so dope. Stuff that cheese in your face. Stuff that cheese in your face with jalapeno. With jalapeno. In your face, cheese whiz. Pickles, yes, cheese whiz. In your face, I said death to audio, to audio, oh, death to audio, to audio, oh, death to audio. Elmo's audio. Gouda is good. Having like the audio. Shake audio. Yeah, that's it. Oh my lord. Whew. I have to turn on the